It's COVID Night Live with Rob Mosio, Ross Mielek, Marshall Malone, and our guest, David Petlanksy. Presented by Upside Down Creative Media.
Good night, everyone, and welcome to another episode of COVID Night Live. Here at CNL, we interview entertainers from all over the world via the internet, so we continue to do our part by not spreading the Chinese virus. I'm your host, Rob Mosio, streaming from Jack's Beach. And with me tonight is the producer of this lovely show, Marshall Malone, who is streaming from Orange Park, Florida. Our special guest tonight again comes from the Bold City. He's a vet on the filming scene, having put out a plethora of original material since the 90s, David Petlanksy. Folks, it appears we have breaking news to open the show. Oh, man. Folks, according to our sources, it appears as if Uncle Touche has been arrested and taken to jail. Although this is saddening news, thinking that our lone fan is no longer with us, it is surprising it took that long to happen considering the content of his past letters to the show. If I do have any advice for you, Uncle T, don't drop the soap. But then again, you might like that. Anyways, let's jump over to a current affair. Due to the coronavirus, Fox News Media is planning cuts to its staff of hair and makeup departments, roughly affecting 80 people's jobs at the station. With this news, we have a few leaked photos of Fox News hosts and their new looks. Warning, these photos can be disturbing to right-winged viewers. First off, we've got Kimberly Guilfoyle. Wow, not sure what to say to that. That's disturbing. Second here, we have the cast of Fox and Friends. Folks, it appears that these makeup artists are going to be missed. They will be surely missed here. And finally, Bill O'Reilly and his friends. I'm pretty sure one of them looks like a man now. Alrighty, let's move on. A monkey stole a Malaysian man's cell phone and proceeded to take selfies of himself, among other things, proving the social dilemma extends beyond the human race. The evolution of this story is a true circle of life, as Zadrix Rodzi woke up on a Saturday morning, realized his smartphone had disappeared without any cause of a break-in to his room. The 20-year-old's father then repeatedly called his cell phone outside their house and came to the realization that a monkey had it in his possession. Aside from the zany selfie videos, the monkey was also able to successfully create a LinkedIn account and obtain a job working at Fox News, making 5 bananas an hour. Best of luck to you and your new endeavors, monkey. The restaurant chain Cracker Barrel is planning on adding alcohol to their menus starting in June of 2021. Not only will you now be able to wash down that old-timer's breakfast with the tall cold Bud Light at 7:30 in the morning, but Cracker Barrel also has updated their logo to signify the hoppy changes to their menu. Fantastic. All right, that wraps up this week's A Current Affair. After this commercial, we'll be right back with David Petlanksy. Growing up, we were Italian. We drank our fair share of wine. I didn't see any Italians in my treat. I decided to have my DNA tested through Ancestry DNA. And to our surprise, we aren't Italian at all. 85% of my DNA comes from the Mashapiro tribe of Peru. I traded in my pasta fazool and delicious wines for this. This is who I am now.
Discover your unique ethnic mix and relatives you never knew existed. Find out who you really are. Order your kit today at ancestrydna.co.uk.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full us, the Fresh Maker.
David Petlanksy, thank you so much for being on the show. How you doing tonight, bud?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to get to speak with Pat in person.
There you go, Pat with less hair.
Yeah.
David, we are going to go all the way back into a decade referred to as the 90s. A lot of these millennials might not know what the 90s are, but we experienced them. So, David, what was it that sparked your desire to be in film?
American Beauty. I watched American Beauty, and well, let me go back a little bit. It was actually a buddy of mine. He pulled out a video camera. He was making movies. He said, "We're making movies," and I was like, "How? What? Why?" I only thought a home video camera was made for home videos. And then I think I was like 16 years old. He brought the camera out and he showed me what him and his neighbor were doing, and quite literally every weekend since then has been nothing but doing something with a camera.
That's awesome. That, eerily similar. That's exactly how I kind of got into it. One of my buddy's cousins showed me videos that he was doing, and like you had said, I was like, I thought Bob Saget did home movies, but
yeah,
I was like, oh, we can do it too. Like, yeah, all you need is a camera, and that was it. Very cool, very cool. The first film I came across of yours was back in 2002, so not the 90s. They millennials know what the 2000s look like. Golden Arches. Which is a film where you and another character are in a desperate attempt to get McDonald's with no money. And you and the fellow friend decide to sell a fake drug to a crackhead that your character concocts in order to make a quick buck. And an ill twist of fate and guilt, you and your friend have to babysit the crackhead after the plan goes awry.
Yeah. And why would we? There's so many holes. I want to blame that project on just how close in proximity it was to 9/11.
Okay.
I think maybe we were just still shook from that.
Sure.
We weren't. It wasn't our best selves.
It reminded very much of Harold and Kumar minus the marijuana.
Yeah, I can't remember if it predates it or not, but I could definitely see the inspiration. Maybe like, Dude, Where's My Car, or something like that.
There you go. There's another classic. But be honest, David, is this based off of a true story?
No, because this was pre-drugs. I would love to say that it was. I mean, technically, it kind of was a true story because we shot it like a documentary, and everything happened, and it was all improv, so it was as close to reality as you could get.
So there was no script involved? You guys completely improv it? Because it was like 45 minutes.
Is that unbelievable? I mean, the dialogue, it was pretty much, just, all right, I'm going to hit record. You guys just, talk. And that's literally what it was. Like, no talking about it beforehand, no planning or preparation at all.
Wow, all right, that is very impressive, especially at 45 minutes. I mean, like a lot of the jokes that you and your buddy that were going back and forth, were those just like jokes you guys told all the time, or was it mainly just off the cuff? Here's the idea, let's just see where this goes.
It was in line with our sense of humor, so Gotcha. We could go off the cuff with it and play off each other like that. And at the end of the day, if it didn't make sense, then that was even better.
Whereas I feel like a lot of the scenes, like I think another one of my favorite scenes was when you guys essentially, like, slowly but surely throughout the night start losing it. And I know you guys are just all about the golden arches, and you kept going, golden arches, golden arches.
Yeah, that definitely was inspired by Dude, Where's My Car? Now that I think about it, the repetitiveness, and we were really losing it in real time because we started at 7 o'clock at night. We wrapped at 7 o'clock in the morning. So in the wee hours of the film, it was the wee hours of the night for us, and we were living all that in real time. So at a certain point, we really only cared about getting done with this stupid idea that we came up with and going to get McDonald's.
I think it was fantastic. I really do. I think and for the fact, like you're saying, for it being 45 minutes makes it that much better.
Thank you very much.
Of course. 2005, Everything Means Nothing. It seems as if your filmmaking takes on a whole different genre. The film was over an hour long of dialogue between two people, one hostage and essentially a psychopath, where it takes a twist at the end, where Myron the hostage appears to have been talking to himself the whole time. And spoiler alert, takes his life in the end after trying to talk himself out of it. Where did the dark humor suddenly come in? I mean, I feel like there was like bits and pieces of it in Golden Arches, but this is just full-blown Fight Club meets craziness.
Yeah. There were a few differences between the me that was in Golden Arches and the me that was in Everything Means Nothing. I started listening to Elliott Smith sometime in between that time and that time. That was... I moved out into the real world and had to experience trying
the real world.
Yeah, like
Okay.
outside of mom and dad's, where, oh man, if I don't pay the electric bill, you mean I don't have lights? Like stupid shit like that. So there's that, and then like getting out of high school, getting into like work environments where you didn't choose the people that you hung out with. You were, they were kind of assigned to you. People that you were supposed to spend the majority of your life with. So there was a lot of grievances I had with people in general. And I started smoking weed, which
there it is.
It helped me in a lot of ways as far as, I don't know, but I think it was only helping me with the problems that it created, because it would just I'd get really emotional about stuff and think maybe probably a little too deep about things. And I was diagnosed with bipolar 2. I don't know what the hell that means still. I never bothered to look it up because I don't want to know. But,
sequel to bipolar 1, I suppose.
Yeah, even worse as sequels go.
Right, I like that. That's good. Well,
then, so the doctor had me on Boost Bar, and I was just not in a good place mentally. And movies have always been the way that I sort things out in a safe place, and I wrote that in a few hours in the kitchen that it was shot in. I sat there and wrote it, and Chad Hendricks directed it, and it was our first time working together, so that was super exciting.
That's awesome.
And we literally destroyed that kitchen. I had to move out of that trailer when we were done with it, because we just, for continuity purposes, when we shot it, we would just leave the blood on the floor.
Right.
And eventually it was just blood caked on top of blood on top of blood. And funny note, we did not consider how ridiculous it was. Like, when you're making a movie, you don't think about little things like that humans would think about. It's all about the shot, all about what needs to be done for the final product. So we didn't realize this till after we were done shooting it, but we were like, we had Reggie wrapped up in Christmas lights that were plugged in, and we were just spraying him down with water over and over again. And these were indoor lights. They're not like how we didn't end up with like a Pet Cemetery 2, Edward Furlong's mom getting electrocuted on set. That's no idea.
Right. Was he tied up the whole time? Did you guys take breaks during shots? That was such a terrible experience for him, because we shot for like 7-8 hours a night every Friday and Saturday for a few weeks on that. And wow.
He'd show up, we'd tie him up, and then just yell at him, stick oranges in his mouth. Like, it was ridiculous. He was a trooper.
That's awesome. Yeah, my favorite quote in that was when your character's talking to him, and you're referring to paying for your $15 pizza by check. So that's how I'm like, oh man, this guy was in the 90s.
So real.
You refer to your check bouncing, and I'm quoting here, like an 11-year-old boy on the King of Pop.
I feel bad for that now that Michael Jackson has passed, and I've come around. I
feel like it's literature at the finest. I thought it was great, and I think it was like the dark humor like leaked in, because at first you're kind of just like, what's going on? And then you kind of just sprinkle in really good dark scenes that really just help the film evolve to the end, where you're like, okay, now I see what's happening. It's very good. Very, very good.
That was as close to anything autobiographical that I've ever done. I'm like almost ashamed to say, because it's a terrible person, but I moved on. Like, after that movie was done, those feelings were done. I was able to move into other kind of destructive feelings.
That's awesome. Very cathartic in a way, then.
Yeah.
Let's take a break from your films. It was brought to my attention that you used to be... What's that?
Sound like my mom. Let's take a break from your films. Try the real job for a little bit.
David, now let me speak to you here. You used to be, now tell me if I'm wrong, Justin Timberlake's body double, and I believe we do have archival footage when you were in sync with the front man himself. Can we run that?
Even sleep in line to get passes to Music Mania. People started setting up tents on Wednesday for the show on Saturday. To keep themselves occupied, they played games and sang.
Say my name, no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. You ain't running games.
We even spotted a Justin Timberlake lookalike in the crowd.
Yeah, actually I am. This is an undercover thing for NSYNC just to see how the fans work.
Forget Survivor, these kids really know how to rock.
You got the symphonic television, the surround sound speakers, alarm clocks, so in case you do fall asleep you can get up early and not...
David, you look fantastic. Please tell me, how did that night go down, and how many ladies did you end up getting with who actually thought you were JT? Please, I mean, that's a spitting image.
I got an over-the-pants HJ in the back of the car, in line. I don't want to be too specific about the date on this because I was in a relationship at the time with someone who is not my wife, because there was another time when I was in a relationship with my wife. Nothing happened that time. But
there we go.
This was a whole period of my life. This was probably like a year or two maybe in 10th and 11th grade. Somebody informed me that they're like, you are a dead ringer for him. And then a few girls in the mall asked for a picture. So I went to Sessions Modeling. I got a whole new wardrobe. I started bleaching my pants in little, like his It's Gonna Be Me video.
Oh,
I totally leaned in. I would go to the concerts and you know, girls, they knew I wasn't him, but they still wanted pictures with me because it was somebody that looked like him. And the girls at NSYNC concerts were that crazy. They just wanted, oh, you look like him. So yeah, it was a great time, and I absolutely hate that person that I became during that time. I'm very, very ashamed.
You know, I have to admit, if I could look like anybody, I'm pretty sure Justin Timberlake would be like one of like 2-3 people. So kudos to you. But yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you had to tell a lot of girls bye after the fact. They didn't think you were JT. Yeah. There's my corny JT joke. Okay. So David, you have over 400 videos. Over 400 videos on your Durden Godfrey YouTube channel, but it's your Everything to Nobody music album you created back in 2012 I want to chat about.
Oh, wow.
I stumbled across this. Google is one hell of a machine. This is a collection of your music from 2002 to 2011. What, during this whole kind of video / JT phase, were you like, okay, I want to venture out into music? How did that all start?
There was no correlation to JT as far as doing music. I was over him by that time. It was more of, I don't know. I mean, it was just another way to put feelings and ideas out there in a creative space to kind of sort things out. Whatever I couldn't do in a film, it usually worked in a song.
Very cool. And you wrote and composed everything? Because I believe it had like over 80 songs on it.
Composed is a really loose term when it comes to the music I created. Okay. It was, a lot of garage band, a lot of loops. I got halfway decent on a keyboard for a while and I didn't know any notes or anything, but I knew if I played something I liked the way it sounded, I could do it long enough to get a loop of it in GarageBand, and then I could forget it and work on something else. So yeah, wrote, composed, and did my own music videos. So
no music background whatsoever. You just jumped into making music.
I played the snare in 7th grade.
Okay, that's hey, you got to start somewhere. I played the clarinet, and everybody referred to it as the flute. But it's the clarinet. Do you
all
still
the
make
girls
it?
wanted the saxophone players.
That's right.
Saxophone players got all of the love.
That's right. That's right. I just got the one stuck with the clarinet. Do you still make any music today at all, or have you just kind of dropped that?
I made 2 songs this year just because it was in another one of those places where I had things that I wanted to say and I felt like I could only safely say them in like a poetic, metaphoric kind of way. Cool. Like just everything that's going on online right now, the division, the left, right, black, white, like there was no safe way to in the environment now online to say what I felt literally,
sure,
without getting either the wrong side on my side or the right side against me. So I wanted to, I've done 2 songs, but really, like, I don't know, it just kind of feels weird anymore to sing.
Well, yeah, no, I understand, and ironically enough, you're talking, a little political. I came across toiletontheRoof.com. Tell me what this website was built for and what it's all about.
Oh, you're talking about the old blog.
Yes.
Okay.
I did some digging. Google a machine.
So before Alex Jones was as bad as he is now, at least to everybody.
Sure.
I was heavy. I was doing at least like 4 hours of Alex Jones a day. So I think I fell off the Alex Jones bandwagon a little too late. It was shortly after the Sandy Hook conspiracy theory, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
That does make sense, Alex. But then it was probably like a few months after that I fell off of that. But while I was on him, I still believe most of the stuff, but I just approach it a different way now. There's nothing we can do about it. So just kind of play along, lay low, and keep your mouth shut because it doesn't do anything to speak up anyway. So but Illuminati, 9/11, all the things that'll get your YouTube channel demonetized now. I was into all that. And the school shootings, I thought, was one of the things that interested me the most, that really fueled Toilet on the Roof, was everybody was talking about guns and nobody was talking about antidepressants. Right. And being someone that was on antidepressants, they literally made, like, I got into a fight with a chair when I was on Boost Bar. I punched it. I yelled at it. A chair. Like, I was
Who won
cleaning.
the fight?
I was, the chair won. Like, it was a knockout, like, first round. I was scrubbing the floor, the carpet, with a sponge. The only explanation I have for that is the antidepressants. The chair was in my way. I was in an RV, so this chair is bolted to the ground. It's one of those swivel chairs. It's not the chair's fault. But in my frame of mind at that time,
sure,
I was like, this fucking chair is trying to fuck everything, and I just started beating the shit out of it. And when I looked at my girlfriend and I saw her, the way that she was looking at me in that moment, I was like, all right, I need to do something. But so I knew how I felt in that time, and I started doing research on the school shootings, and that was like one of the correlations, that they were all on some form of antidepressants, and that have on their label, psychosis could be one of the negative side effects to that, which I experienced. So I believed it. I just thought it was interesting that it just became this political debate about we shouldn't have guns. And I don't give a shit one way or the other about that. I just want people to be talking about what the issue actually is.
Is that hand? Sure.
So, but yeah, Toilet on the Roof, it actually came from the janitor in Scrubs when they put the toilet on the roof and everybody goes up there and he's like, there's a toilet on the roof. I was like, man, that works so good for the world we live in, because you could take it as like God just shitting on us or the government shitting on us. Like pretty much anybody above you is raining shit down.
Sure. That's really cool. Wow. Okay. I was wondering. I was like, all right, toilet on the roof. That's too random, but now it makes sense. All right. Jumping back to your filmmaking. A few of my favorite shorts I came across. Being a Sunny fan, the Dayman Cometh remix was fantastic.
Thank you.
It was a banger of a song, which was, that of the Sunny Hit song/play. Great episode too. Bane sucks at Mario Kart Wii, which is a close to 15-minute video about someone just sucking at Mario Kart, which we all do have that friend, so it's very relatable. Now that was essentially you just putting the camera on and just filming.
We had the camera set up because with Royal, who'll be joining later, he was, we were writing a script that for an idea that he's had for years. So we locked ourselves in his garage for a weekend and we played Mario Kart to take breaks. But we recorded most of the writing session, and the camera happened to stay recording during Mario Kart. And one of the guys, Sion? No, not Sion, I always do that. Mathis. He was over helping with the writing and and it just he'd never played Mario Kart before, so he was absolutely terrible, but he talked some serious shit, but he didn't even talk shit well, so that was funny. And he was the only one in the garage. Like, I'm totally for wearing masks out in public, but we were in the garage writing, and he was the only one with the mask on the whole time. And it was just, when we were playing Mario Kart and he's talking shit, he sounded like Bane the whole time. It was hard to hear him. Awesome. So yeah, that's where that came from.
That's awesome. To take a little bit of a turn, more of a family-oriented skit that you did, the Fraggin' Talkity Talk Show, which is a talk show involving you and your daughter Adeline, where you cover such hot topics like the coronavirus, Frozen 2, and an in-depth deconstruction of Joe Exotic's I Saw a Tiger song, which, by the way, didn't even know existed until I watched it, and had to watch it myself, and that was really bad, the song itself. But, by the way, your daughter is very funny, very animated. I'm guessing she gets it from you.
No. She runs that show. We only do it when she wants to.
Okay.
I set the topics based on what I think will get us the most views, as far as what people are searching for. That's the only thing that Frozen 2, Joe Exotic, and coronavirus have in common, is the fact that they're going to come up in a search. I thought they didn't, but she. I just let her go, and she blows me away, like literally sometimes when we're shooting, when we're doing that. I'm kind of pissed off at her though, because she's so much more intelligent off camera, and then she kind of she shells up a little bit when the camera turns on, and she really just pisses me off.
Either way, I really, really liked it.
Thank you.
We're going to, we got a little bit more we want to talk about, but we're going to cut to a commercial break real quick, David, and we'll be right back. See you now.
Sounds good.
Is there anyone out there who still doesn't understand what believing in the construct of time will do to their brain? Okay. Last time. This is your brain. And this is time. And this is you thinking about time. Any questions?
Face the facts. Time is a dead end.
We're back. David, in 2017, you wrote and directed Never Go Back, a film about a father and son departing let's just say a worldly life for nature. Tell us where you came up with this idea, and what exactly inspired you to write this film?
My daughter being born, I wanted to do something that was a parent and child, and I was trying to think of something that, like a message that I would want to leave her if I were to pass. Everything that I would want to say to her. And that was, I was trying to think, when, in an independent filmmaker, you're always trying to use your resources. So I was sitting at a light one morning, and I thought, there's this old guy, Ben, he's been in a lot of my stuff, and my brother. And I have those two, and they would be great together. So let's make them father and son. And I wanted to work with people that I was very comfortable with, because I knew that I was going to be taking a lot more time on this one than anything else that I've ever done. So to make the quality better, again, for my daughter, I wanted to do something that was a little less polarizing, that would have more of a chance of making some kind of money. So yeah, I wanted to work with two people I was comfortable with, that would not make me feel uncomfortable if I wanted to get 4 more shots of something. And I would, a lot of the times I move on just because I feel awkward. I knew I wouldn't deal with that with them. And, we shot that over like 11 months, so the hair, the beard and everything could really come out. And
right.
That was a really cool experience.
Very cool. Very cool. In 2018, you follow up Never Go Back with I'm Going to Kill Someone This Friday. Again, you take this kind of dark comedy turn in your work. You wrote and directed this one, and it's a story of what seems to be a successful guy with a beautiful house, wife and kids, but he has a secret. Stark difference, again, story-wise, from Never Go Back. Where'd the idea for this one came from? I believe I read it was very, you were Alfred Hitchcock, I believe, was one that came to mind.
When I premiered Never Go Back, I was going to be done after that, and I didn't plan on making feature films anymore. And
why is that?
Just because having a kid, I thought it would take too much time away, because even when you're not shooting, when you're doing a feature film, you're always thinking about it. Like if we shoot on the weekends, Monday through Friday, I'm still consumed with everything that has to do with it. So, and I know that I'm 150% in whenever I jump into a feature or any project, really. So I wanted to, I just knew it wouldn't be a good thing to try to do that with a daughter who I'm also wanting to give 150% of my time and energy to, more importantly. But Jared Rush saw Never Go Back at Sunray, and he got in touch with me afterwards, and it was our first time meeting, and he said, I'd really love to see what you would do if you wrote a psychological thriller. And I was actually shooting a documentary at that time about a guy in Georgia who goes by the name Dead Nuts, and he has BPD, personality disorder. I jumped out of that project because it was getting dangerous and I was feeling unsafe. So, and a lot of lies I was finding out a lot of lies about the subject. I wasn't a reliable narrator. So I was sitting in bed one night and I was thinking, what are the reasons I want to do something about a psychopath. So I was doing a lot of research about psychopaths and for the Dead Nuts documentary, and I thought, with somebody like that, you can have a lot of fun with them and go really anywhere you want to, because they're so unpredictable in their personality. And then the next thing I thought was, what do I have here in Jacksonville that could be special that Hollywood couldn't buy? And that was the tree oak. I thought that's a people go there all the time just to take pictures with it. Like, let's make that like the staple imagery of the film, something that you can't get that same thing anywhere else. And then the title, I just thought, I'm gonna kill someone this Friday, and I don't know where that came from, but it all worked out from that title. I kind of put a story around the title and the tree.
Yeah, no, and I believe did it air on Friday? I might be wrong on that.
No, it was on a Thursday.
It wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I do, ironically enough, I do remember hearing that, and I was like, wow, what a thought-provoking title, especially if it was on Friday, but I screwed that up. I do apologize. But, all right, after this commercial, we got one last commercial. We'll be right back to learn what David's That's the Effin' Trailer series is all about.
Let me drive, and then you and then you come in with the.
That's what she said. Go ahead, I'm ready.
All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, internets.
This is our new show. It's called That's the
F***ing Trailer.
That sounds good. And that
is the f***ing trailer. Oh man, yeah. There we go.
all right.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Woo!
With me now is the creators and hosts of That's the Effin' Trailer, David and Mr. Royal. It's a new series they've created on the YouTube, fellas. Tell us about TFTT. What is it? What's going on here with this show you guys have created?
Well, TTFT, what it is was me, as you guys were chronicling with David earlier, David and I have been doing films and filmmaking for over almost 2 decades now. And of course, me more so in front of the camera and David more so behind the camera, where we both feel more comfortable at. And we just started talking. We were just like, dude, we've done feature films, we've done documentaries, we've done shorts, we've went viral, we've done all those things. But we're, at the end of the day, just like any other profession, that's why they call it a professional, you need to be paid for your craft. And it's like, how do we break this algorithm? What do we do? And the only thing we can lean back on is that we know film. And we were like, we watch these YouTube channels of these fans of film, but not really filmmakers. They can't come from a point of, I wrote a film I'm registered with the Writers Actors Guild of America. I'm a part of SAG. But like I've won awards for film, not just film festivals, but like major film festivals. It's like, wait a minute, we have something different to offer these people. We can do comprehensive breakdowns from behind and in front of the camera and still get to be ourselves. So it was a no-brainer at that point. So hit that button that's not there now. Subscribe.
There you go.
I've been only watching YouTube for like the past year. I'm addicted, like Simon, Dan, and the dude that does the
pitch meetings for Marvel.
Pitch meetings, yeah.
Yes.
Ryan George, I think his name. Like, I'm all over you. I don't watch any real films or Netflix or anything anymore. Barely. I go straight to YouTube, and I notice like teenagers on there like paying their parents rent off of these shitty videos that they're doing, and I thought surely we can do that. So we decided to give it 365 days and just give people what they want from what I've seen on YouTube, what people are watching, just do our version of that and try not to compromise who we are too much in the process, and hopefully see some traction, enough traction to say, let's keep going for another year once we're done with this.
So this is a plan for a whole year, essentially doing this once a week?
Yeah, we like to call it consistent content. That's the one thing we've noticed. I heard you guys talking earlier. Like, I think we all have 5 YouTube channels, 4 MySpaces, 6 Reddit. So I guess when you spread yourself out, it doesn't work to spread yourself too thin. So it's like, okay, we can, because it's like you're being an intern for your own business for 1 year in the future. Sure. He knows this is one of our phrases from when we collaborated back in the day is I invest in myself because I impress myself. Mm-hmm. And that's we're speaking to what he just said. We're watching TV, watching YouTube. Like, there's no way they're better at what you do, and I know they're not better at me than what I do. So why don't we just get together and show them how it's done? We challenge anybody to come with our film knowledge, what we know, and how we're breaking this down. It's like ESPN and Hollywood and mainstream, and I want to say Broadway came together, and it's upside down now.
There you go, upside down.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I did. Very creative, and we're on the media. Very cool.
Yes,
the first episode you guys did, speaking of content, I mean, it was over, I believe it was 2 hours, the first episode y'all had done?
Yeah, right under the Driving Miss Daisy timeline. It was, listen, in fairness, we're trying to find our track. We were trying to find our traction, and we initially said, like, first segment, 15 minutes, but as you guys know, we're friends, and we're friends, so when friends start discussing film, it can just spiral out. But I actually watched it's one thing to do it, but because he's the one that's editing, I have to give him his due diligence and go back and watch everything. And I'm like, dude, we really effing did it. Like, we really did it. But it was comprehensive. No, I'm talking about, we basically gave you IMDb, Google, Wikipedia, and what they say in the barbershop in one episode.
It was arguably too comprehensive. Like, we probably could have got it down to 90 minutes if we wouldn't have kept rehashing is Killmonger really a bad guy argument.
It was just 2 heroes in the movie. There was no villain. Society was the villain.
I want to compliment y'all's comic book knowledge. That was one thing I noticed. I was like, okay, they really, really did their homework. And again, you guys, as a team, there wasn't any kind of dull moments. You guys just kept going off the hook and just talking to each other. And I felt like it was 2 hours, but it didn't feel that long. So that's always a good thing because, kids these days, they have very short attention.
That's why we're posting highlight videos on Tuesdays so that people hopefully we can reel people in with the 2-minute clips, 5-minute clips, just segments that really pop out in the whole episode.
That's really what we were talking about. You got to hit them from. Here's the thing: we're trying to drive it, and you guys know this. We're trying to drive everybody to YouTube, and so we realized there's teenagers out there who used to have 60-second attention spans. Now they have 30. So we're dealing with all these people. Like, how do we get the other people to drive them back to the show? So that's where the Instagram, the Twitters, the Facebook, you give them 60 seconds on there, but always send them back to the show with the link. And then that's when they can, the core, honestly, think about it this way. Our core following of people, we really only expect 10% of people to watch the full episode. But what we do expect them to do, come there, find out what category you liked and what you want to discuss and go.
Yes. Yeah, that is one thing I really did like about it. It was, you were bringing up ESPN's like Sports Center. You guys had everything listed so you could kind of follow along, and then you guys had the bar below, of the timeline per segment. Loading bar.
We're almost done, I promise.
Yes.
We're almost done.
I really like that, though. Again, people like seeing that. They like seeing, okay, when are we getting on to the next segment? And like you said, people find their own segments that they really like. But really well done.
Always, I'll go on YouTube and I'll be like, oh man, that looks super interesting. Not 17 minutes interesting. Something that's got like 4 minutes maybe. That's like a whole blunt.
Yes. Actually, that's a great idea. You guys should have a small blunt at the bottom burning as you're sitting there talking about each segment. I'm kidding. I am referring to the first episode. The first episode was done about the Marvel movie Black Panther in memory of Chadwick Boseman. Done really, really well. Again, I'm a big comic book nerd myself, so it's very cool to see you guys, people, especially the comic book community. They're always like, oh, it's not like the comic books, but it's Hollywood. What do you expect? But you guys intertwine those two really well. So what other films are you guys planning to review?
Well, I'm jumping ahead in time, and that's a little segue. On Monday, we're doing the film review for the film Tenet, which actually stars Denzel Washington's super uber talented son. And what was our guy that they didn't even show that much in the trailer, and he was really killing it, that we really loved?
What's his name?
That's
Twilight.
his name. Yeah, Twilight. Yes, Twilight. And we're
Robert
calling him Twilight.
Pattinson?
Yes. Yeah. And here's my thing. He knows this. And if you watch the whole episode, and it speaks to Robert Pattinson as well. Each episode we give a best actor or actress. I call it a best artist award because that's fluid, gender fluid. We support everybody.
Sure.
2020, whatever. So anyway, so with that being said, what it was is that we're doing this thing. We're like, okay, so with Pattinson, it was just kind of like, man. For him, it's like the Urkel effect is what I call it. You know what I'm talking about? When you're so talented and so successful and popular for one role, you really have to be a truly talented artist to make people forget that's what you did. And so when I saw Pattinson, I'm like, guys, who is that? David's like, it's Twilight. That's Twilight? So we're doing Tenet. We're doing Planes, Trains, Automobiles, Paid in Full. We got a lot of things coming up this season, man.
A very well-known movie called The Living Wake.
Yes.
What's it called?
The Living Wake.
Living Wake. I haven't seen that one.
It is my number one movie of all time. I highly, highly recommend it. I'm gonna fuck up his name now, so I'm not even gonna say it because I'm horrible with names. But the guy that wrote it, directed it, wrote it and starred in it, he's a genius. Besides him, it's got Jesse Eisenberg, Jim Gaffigan, and kind of bit parts, but. We're trying to span like some stuff from the 80s that we grew up on, some obscure things that
Charlie Babbitt.
Charlie Babbitt. And then we tried to sneak in a few like recent films, so we can we'll do the most recent one we're gonna do is Tenet, and then Candyman when it comes out in October.
And our thought process was this: again, it's all about trying to get the groupings together. You got anybody from the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s to 2000s. We're bringing them all into this show. This is basically pop culture for everyone. It's like if IMDb had a video channel just talking about films, they would hire us. That's the plug, IMDb.
There's the plug. I love it. That's awesome. So And the one thing I could think of, with Halloween coming up, maybe you guys start doing, horror films or whatnot, and do just like a variety of, different spins of what's happening. I can't. Oh, actually, a good Thanksgiving movie for you. Yes, Freddy Krueger. Good Thanksgiving movie for you is a movie called Thanksgiving. Have you guys ever seen that movie before?
No, but it sounds fantastic.
It's a B movie. It's fantastic. You should watch it, and you should review that movie. Thanksgiving. You will thank me later, I promise. No problem.
You know what you just did? You were our first outsider to give us a pick. That's like our first outsider pick, and I love it. Thanksgiving.
There you go. And that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Reach out to, once you guys do, get the following, because this is a fantastic idea. You guys know what you're talking about, like you're saying. It's IMDb on crack, if you will.
I like it.
Yeah,
even heroin.
Let's go heroin. Let's do it. Hey, you know what? Go big or go fuck yourself. I love it. Great idea.
I like it. Yeah. Yes.
That's awesome. So, Mr. Royal, what's it like working with David?
I'm going to tell you this. They say friendship and business doesn't mix unless your friend is just as talented and as passionate about his craft as you. And so that's why we work so well together. We both hold each other accountable. It's not a moment to where I'm like, oh, this is my friend, so I can't tell him that shot is shit. Or he can't. It's been times we've been on stage like, man, what are you doing, man? You're better than that. I'm like, say that shit in front of everybody. I know I'm better than that. So say that shit. So over the years, like
that was one time,
and that was like 9-10 years ago, and I've never let that shit go. Like,
let's hear it. Let's hear it. Air it out.
I'll tell you how long ago it was. This happened in nicotine in 5 Points. That's how long ago.
We were doing we had a group called we still have a group called Sunny Fit. It's a play on the words funny shit. And we were refilming a scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin. And so I can get a little amped sometimes because I'm passionate about my craft. And David was like, I've seen you be better than that. What are you doing? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're crossing the fucking line. But again, you want to hold people accountable, because if they're truly your friend, they will not let you put out anything horrible. And throughout the years, we've done music together, we've done skits together, we've done film together. Our daughters are friends. He's filmed my daughter's sweet 16 birthday party. I filmed his daughter's second and third birthday party. So it's good to have somebody to film that your friends like. Because we save so much money being friends. Let me tell you that right now. You just come. You do me, no, I do you. You do me, no, I do you. So it's been great, man.
I love it. I love it. David, what's it like working with Mr. Royal?
He is the perfect balance to everything that I am. Like where I like perfect example with the YouTube channel. I'm like, maybe we'll, hopefully this will work out. He's like, no, motherfucker, this already worked out. We're already successful. Give us our motherfucking award, hire us. Like,
I mean, have you not seen the shit out there on my walls?
Somewhere in between, I think you find a functional human being.
Yeah.
Realistic. So, and I mean, I call him, he calls himself Santa Claus, and I subscribe to it because he is like, it doesn't matter if it's 2:00 in the morning, you can call, well, I don't know about you or anybody else, but I can call him up and say, I need some random fucking off the wall piece that like a mic, something to connect a mic to a headphone or some whatever weird that you want to fill in the blanks there. He's like, hold on, let me look in my bag real quick. I think I got something. All right, I'll be there.
Funny story real quick. I know we're on time, but funny story real quick is that the day he really started calling me Santa Claus was when you guys were talking about Never Go Back, and he'd done such a amount. I called him, and he had just gotten back from St. Louis. I said, bro, I'm so proud of you because I know what, like, you guys, you saw the YouTube channel he had before. Mm-hmm. It's like, and now you're blocking. Now you're looking for this. Now you're going and posting. You're doing this, like, bro, like, because I had been building this while he was gone, and that's the beautiful part about it. We both gained so much knowledge, even states away from each other. So now he's back. He's worked so hard on his film, and I was so proud. I'm ready to go. I'm like, I'm just gonna smoke a blunt tonight, and then the movie premieres tomorrow. It's gonna be dope. He calls me frantic, like the day or the night before, like, dude, I'm fucked. I need a Blu-ray. Do you know anybody that can get this on Blu-ray? I'm like, let me call somebody real quick. I'm like, no, wait, I know somebody. Me. I have a Blu-ray burner. Come over here. I have the program for it. I can do this for you. And then, like, it felt good to give something to an artist and to a friend. Like, and so that's where we're at with life, man. It's been great.
Well, that's fantastic. You guys work fantastically together. That's the effing trailer. I love what I see. Keep it up. Keep it up. That's the hardest part, is keeping this stuff up.
That's Viagra's slogan. Don't get us sued.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That reminds me. I got to take my pill real quick.
I thought you were talking about I like what I see.
Oh, no.
Viagra. I like what I see.
Keep it up. That's the hard part.
Keep it up. That's the hard part. There's your slogan right there. Well, so real quick.
That's the fucking slogan.
That is right there. That's the fucking trailer. Where can people find TTFT and the upcoming episodes?
We'll only be posting them to YouTube, trying to drive everybody there. We're not 30 days in on the channel yet, so we're still using a tiny URL, tinyurl.com/TTFT Show, and we're on Facebook, Instagram, same thing, TTFT Show. Facebook's probably the easiest way to find it on YouTube. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, this was fantastic. I was really happy to talk to you guys.
You guys can see me now, right?
Hey, Marshall.
Now that I can see, oh, damn it, that's no longer your chair. You got a fucking cool chair. That's my fucking poster, and he's not supposed to be sitting behind. All right, with that being said, I did want to say you guys have joined. I saw you guys follow me on social media earlier, and it's not about you guys following me. It's about us supporting each other. So you guys have gained a fan as well. I definitely, he showed me you guys commercials. I'm like, now that's my sense of humor. It's not about getting picked up. It's like, as long as we laugh, we know what's funny, and we're making it like life short, guys. Do what you love to do.
That's right.
Time for the top 10 before we say goodnight.
Yes. That's why I'm here. Yeah, I want to hear it.
Yes.
Right.
I'm excited. This is
all right. So I'll run through them pretty quick so we don't take up too much time. I know we're past 11, but so number 10 is the Forgetful Patriot, mainly because Abe Lincoln is the first president because he's on the penny.
Yeah.
Were you? Did you happen to go to the LOL Jacks when we screened that? Were you there?
The only LOL Jacks that I've been to was the Painting with Pat one.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that one up. That's good.
Not a lot of people like that one.
No. And what's funny, and not to hijack it, but it's just a funny moment happened when it's like it was a 9/11 joke basically, and not making fun of 9/11, but we were just trying to talk about it, and somebody asked after. There was like dead silence after our sketch or after our thing played, and then what happened, Rob? It was
at the end where they released everybody to go get drinks and whatnot, and then they tallied the votes for all the different awards, and we came back and like, oh, we need to get a time check once everybody sat down. Like, what's the time? And no kidding,
it was 9/11.
The host was like, it's 9/11, and everyone, oh
yeah. It was just so thick.
It was so good.
So thick.
Bombed.
Yeah.
It was just perfect timing.
Liked it. We're happy to hear that. So
yes, yeah, very much so.
Number 9, I think all the 60-second mocks are brilliant, and the way they're put together, the editing, it's fantastic.
Thank you.
So there's a few of them on there, but number 9 is the Deaf Alcoholic, mainly because of the voice. And I hate to laugh at it, but that's why I love to laugh at it at the same time, because it feels so wrong.
Yeah, I look back at some of those and I blush, just thinking like shame. But we were eating a lot of edibles then. So.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. That'll make you make compromising decisions for sure.
Yeah.
This is a great idea. Hear me out.
Trying to push the envelope.
The end though, where the translator's like, so our translator's telling us that that's not real sign language.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Which that makes the whole joke complete. That the guy was faking it. That's the joke. We're not making fun of deaf people.
A lot of that stuff and it's funny you mentioned this in some of your older stuff. We just improv'd a lot of that. Most of our stuff I would say is improv. Kind of like you were talking about how you did it. We would kind of set up a joke and then just kind of film until we felt like we beat it enough, and then I would condense it to a minute.
I kind of watched the making where you guys were making the theme song for Painting with Pat, and I thought that was it was crazy how you watch the evolution in like 3 minutes of, all right, speed it up a little bit. All right, now I think I'm gonna come in with some background vocals on it, and then you hear it at the end, and it's so fucking catchy.
That was when we started. Yeah, that was when we really kind of started hitting it off, and
it's a happy day.
Yes,
it's
a day to paint. Yes, fantastic.
So your guys' theme songs are fantastic.
Thank you.
Number 8 is the SNL audition part 2. The Elvis Presley getting the over the pants hand HK.
Yeah.
It went on for just long enough.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Good. good.
Number 7 is Decorating with Pat. The theme song of that, again, great. The meltdowns, it all started when the parents were brought up, and it brought on the meltdown, and then all it took was as simple as one of the ornaments rolling across the ground, and you just, like...
Real quick funny story about that. We went to Target. I was like, I'll just go get a Santa hat, and I found that in like the kids
section,
girls section.
Girls section, yeah.
And I was like, I'm buying. I was like, that's it right there.
Yeah.
$15 well wasted.
And the tight elf suit was just
yeah.
It was everything about that was perfect. It really put me in the spirit.
Thank you. Thank you. That's good.
Number 6 is another 60-second Mox, The Man Who Thinks He's a Giant. Just because, like, your commitment to whatever ridiculous character you're playing is so awesome. Like, watching you walk down the street like this, that's the best part of the whole thing. Just the way you're walking around everywhere like you're in pain. Like, where does something like that even come from?
Whew, man, that was just like one of the silliest ideas we had for 60. I was like, let me just pretend I'm fat, and then that was it. I just was like, what if?
And he's not fat. He was actually really fit. So
way to commit. Way to commit, man.
That's it.
And not even fat, but
David.
giant. Like, what did you say at the end? Like, so you're not 8 feet tall. Or
I feel like I'm 8 foot. These are Lane Bryant pieces of.
I think we did. I think that was.
This couch might look normal to you.
Yeah. Lane Bryant piece of furniture.
Very delightful.
Thank you, David. Great.
Number 5 is I'm Sorry for Everything I've Done. That one was like, that is right up my alley.
Yes.
The weirdness, it was like, that's like the perfect genre where you can, it's almost like you're having a nightmare, but a comedian with it.
And it's got my daughter in it, and it's funny because I don't even remember. I think it was like 2 separate moments that I spliced together because my daughter was really into trying to learn how to play guitar, and I had like the mic and stuff set up, and she just played her little princess guitar and was saying all this gibberish and singing. I don't even know what she's saying. Like but I put some reverb on it, and then for some reason you had a eye patch and you were dressed. I don't even know why you were dressed like that. I think we were probably.
And the bird flying away at the end, that was just the icing on the cake. I was like, okay, I already like this. Now it's official.
I was probably high when I made that too. So.
That was
definitely.
Wow.
I would put money on that. Yeah,
God, that was
only
so funny.
comes from a place where all inhibitions are like, let's try this.
Yeah,
exactly. Or let's not try. Let's just film something, and that's what. Yeah, that was that. That's awesome. Thank you, David.
Yep. Number 4 is Now What? Confessions of a Straight White Male.
Oh gosh.
The writing on that and the performance is so brilliant.
Very Sunny Fit test. I'm not Sunny Fit. No, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I got that feel watching. He made me watch it. He told me about it again last time. I'm like, bro, you told me about this months ago. But it's that good that he had to retell the story, so you guys did really good.
I don't even remember what year we did that. Was that 2018?
It had to be.
The punchline at the end, like, I want to appropriate that other 30% and do your part, or, when the guy's standing on the bridge. But the line that got me was, I'm the standard for which everyone is measured. I'm like air, I'm like water, I'm everywhere.
Yes. That was. Yeah, wow.
As you're putting the belt around your neck, that's a world I don't want to live in.
It made me feel very Pulp Fiction-esque. It was kind of gimpy when you did it, but I was with it. I still was with it. Appreciation.
Thank you.
David Carradine. David Carradine?
Yes.
David Carradine. I jerk it off. Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Thank you.
Number 3 is another 60-second Mox. Also towing that line of, is this racist? He can't hear Yanni or Laurel.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's
the punchline to that one. I remember when we were shooting Manson Lane, Thomas was like, dude, you have to look at this 60-second Mox that we did with Upside Down. And he showed it to me, and that blindsided me. I did not see that coming at the end, especially when the black dude walks up afterwards. He's like, tell him what you said. And that was Jaron in that, right?
Yes, it was Jaron. So
his face, it was perfect. And
that was
Thomas.
It was funny because that evolved. When we originally started filming that, I don't even remember what the punchline was, but it had nothing to do with race. And the guy, and I can't remember his name now, that was there, he kind of pitched it because everybody was just like hanging out, like drinking, and I just had my camera stuff, and I had filmed something like earlier that day, and so I had this idea, and I think he was hearing something really silly, but the guy was like, no, make this be the word, because we're not even saying anything. It's insinuating, and obviously at the end we know, and then we bleep it out, obviously. But it was just genius because I kind of
the N word.
Oh, I know.
So yeah,
I've heard it a couple of times.
So have I.
But yeah, it was interesting. It was yeah. I'm glad
it was fantastic. And
that was good.
Number 2 is father to son. A father demands respect. Some things. The theme song gets me. Like, I'll walk around singing that around my house, and my wife's like, "You're a fucking idiot. Stop. I hate you."
So that's what I have to look forward to next. Called idiot.
Oh yeah, every day at least once. Nothing's gonna stop him now.
That's so perfect. We took the music from Perfect Strangers, and I wrote like some lyrics to it, because this actual project was something we talked about. We were obsessed with like 90s sitcoms. I was like, we've got to do a sitcom where it's like a father and a son, like this father and son story where they're, the dad's addicted to drugs and the son is, or the other way around. I can't remember. But I think the guy that I hired, I paid him like $25 to sing those lyrics to some like real musician. And we've got 10 minutes. And yeah, just a random tidbit. He did it for $25, and I don't even remember his name, but he just had the perfect sitcom voice. So.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Speaking of that, before he goes to the last one, real quick, whoever did you guys Saturday Night Live? Listen, if you can't tell, I'm a voiceover actor. But whoever did you guys voiceover acting for the intro to the COVID Night Live, Christine, worth every penny. Excellent job, guys.
He's the same guy we've used. We used him in Human Blanket. We used him any kind of thing. He used to actually do the Time Life stuff back in the day, so he claims. He was the voiceover guy, but I found him on Fiverr. Fiverr, and he's a genius. He charges more than $5 now, but yeah, back in the day we found him for $5, and he was like golden for back then. Now I've got to spend a little more to get him, but. Yeah, he's good. I'll send you his info. It's good.
Thank you. Really good.
Thank you.
I'll run through just a few honorable mentions before I do number 1. The I take responsibility one. From now on, I will only shoot cops. That was brilliant. Coronaria.
Yes.
60-second mocks, the schizophrenic YouTuber. Just the name Jesus Shuttlesworth.
I don't even know how we came up with that.
Do you know what that's from?
Oh my fucking gosh! Yes, it's from He Got Game.
He Got Game. That's right. That's Ray Allen's character.
I only watched the parts with Rosaria.
Or when he meets the twins in bed. No, I'm just kidding around.
Hey, Jesus!
Yes.
The 60-second mocks, the pseudo Bobar effect. That was genius. The Justin Timberlake's biggest fan was hilarious.
Oh man.
5 years you don't watch our videos. That one hit me right here in the heart.
I remember you commenting, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, we were just talking about that last night. Actually, that's really funny that you had commented. Yes, thank you. That's awesome.
Ultimate Love Songs commercial that was like perfectly played. And number 1 though is Painting with Pat, because that one, I remember when I saw that at LOL, I was like, this is so much better than Jacksonville. This is.
Wow. Thank you.
Why are these, and really with all of your stuff that's on the list, and stuff that I didn't include on purpose, like Human Blanket, because it's like everybody should know about that one by now. I tried to go a little bit more obscure in the list, but like why aren't you guys famous? Like, why aren't you guys huge? Why don't you have your own show on FX or Adult Swim? Because you've been doing consistent, quality, hilarious content that's true to your sense of humor for years. And when that's why that 5 years you don't watch our videos, I'm like, man, I feel their pain, because they are really doing it well. And if they haven't made it, what the fuck?
Well, we
Thanks,
can say
Dave.
the same for you. I mean, I know you
for sure.
You everybody cringes at their old stuff, but the fact that, I think we talked about this earlier today, you just do it because you want to do it. Like it's like a drug. Like we both said that. It's like if you don't do it, you feel it tugging at you all the time. Like I get really frustrated when I'm not creating something, and so whether or not 5 people watch it, it does bother me, obviously, in this day and age when you see like what you were talking about earlier, people paying rent with.
And in fairness, real quick, in fairness is the drug that costs the most because it never costs money. It costs time, effort, energy. You're putting yourself out there for your peers. So they don't understand it. But I'll be creating to the day I die because I was created, so I was born to create. There you go. So I feel where you're coming from, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I appreciate you guys coming out. I guess, Rob, I'll hand over. Or did we get through the 10? Oh, yeah, Painting with Pat. Sorry.
Yeah.
TV. That's why I'm not on camera because I'm not.
It's a live show, folks.
All right, Rob,
thank
go
you,
ahead.
David. I really appreciate the words. And with that, guys, thanks for being on. Thanks for telling us what it's all about. Absolutely. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, you too. Hey, Rob, real quick before we go, Rob, put them in a body bag.
Do not ever stop doing what you guys are doing, please. It's too good.
Thank you, guys. Seriously, thank you so much. Well, we'll either see you next week or 2 weeks. Guys, have a good one. COVID Night Live. Thank you so much, guys.
That was hard.
I don't know. That's hard. Have a good night, everybody.